なアルトマイクみたいになりたい。でも電話してくれない。オークランドとブックレンドから世界チャンピオンバーチャルプローズ始まるよ。バーチャルプローズ。
To my motherfucking man, 50 grand, the alcoholic man, and jack a tall can in his bloodstream if he can. Biggie Smalls, the stroker, MC provoker, chocolate tie smoker, huh? I like to max and Maximas and Acuras. Your girl butt cheeks, I'm smacking, huh? The raw rapper, spine snapper, with the little, cause all my lap shot, the ball, I ain't your fucking comforter. And if I ever fall in love, I bet I'm fucking her. Ask the if I didn't choke her. If she try to front, then I drop the chucky.
Episode 74 of That World Champion Sound Virtual Pros Podcast. My name is Al, a.k.a. Henny Omega, a.k.a. The Bandman, a.k.a. Bujin Nagata, a.k.a. Two Phone Scorpio, a.k.a. Super Brazy, a.k.a. Pete Gas Break Dip Dip, a.k.a. No Speak Broke Boy, Kami Shinsuke Stack a Mill Up, and with me, one half of the Holy Scheming Army, one half of Blemolition, one half of the Heavenly Thotties, one half of the Bread Hunters, my main oos, Mike.
Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? It's Mike, a.k.a. Rich Mike, a.k.a. Tiger Skeet Singh, a.k.a. the White Alistair Black, a.k.a. Ramune Reigns.
Today's topic, wrestling artifacts we'd like to own. Mike and Al discuss which relics of Grap's history they would display to their house guests. Hit us on Twitter and Instagram at VRTL Pros. Hit us on SoundCloud. Hit that heart. You know I like it. Hit us on iTunes. Leave a review and subscribe, please. And also peep us on Spotify. If you want to participate, email us at virtualpros64@gmail.com. We got a grip of emails, Mike. You mind starting off with that first one?
Yeah, sure. The first one's from Ryan. It's entitled Episode 73. It's a pretty creative title. What's good, pros? Listening to Episode 73 on my Thursday morning commute, and a few things came to mind. One, the only time I saw someone take notes at a wrestling show was at a style battle show in Queens. Three older men were sitting front row with notepads talking about how Brody King was on Vince's radar because of his size. A bald man got really red in the face yelling at Nick Gage. The only thing that could possibly have gotten him so worked up was if Gage got his mom hooked on opioids or something. Number two, let's talk about how the best logos all belong to shoot-style hardboy feds. Rings, UWF, UWFI, Pancras, Big Mouth Loud. Makes sense that the best style of wrestling would have the most aesthetically pleasing logos. Three, on the topic of tiger tattoo shame, at an ECW WWE show in Poughkeepsie, the Big Show got real heated when a bunch of us were making fun of his tiger tattoos. On the same show, we tried getting CM Punk to come see Throwdown, who was playing up the street. Him not going should have been a tip-off to how whack he truly is. Thanks for putting in all the work you do, and here's to hoping the new beanie fits my weird-ass head. Ryan, a.k.a. Snack Slayer Jr., a.k.a. D'Lo Shirai, a.k.a. Big Mouth Loud of Infinity. That number one about the three old guys, taking notes. I don't believe that, Ryan. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. That style battle, I think, happened right before I moved or right after I moved, but I know I obviously didn't go, but I don't know. I've been to Evolve and I've never seen that, but man, that's a sad story if it is true. I don't have anything to say about number two. And number three, that story about the Big Show just reminds me how much I miss the very short-lived show that was on the WWE Network when it first started, which was Corey Graves asking wrestlers to explain their really terrible tattoos. And that was a whole show. I mean, it was only like a 10-minute show, but it was a show. And the Big Show, if you guys haven't seen it, I don't know if they keep this shit on the network or if they throw it off or whatever, but his tiger tattoo is actually, I don't know if he was in the Congo or where he said he was, but I think he was on safari or whatever. And that tattoo is a photo he took. He got a photo of a tiger he took tattooed on him. So that's a little trivia for you. You can impress the ladies with. And that's about it I have to say about that.
Yeah, going back to number two, listener and friend of the show, Cheap Pop. He mentioned a logo that we totally slept on, which is the All Japan Women's logo. That actually might be a top 3 logo to me personally as well. So, our apologies. Yeah, we got 2 mentions about the Big Mouth Loud logo. it's just a wolf. Who fucking cares?
I will say, if you want to talk about this, I know that logo's a little white power. I think it's I mean, obviously they're Japanese guys and they don't mean it that way, but it's a little kind of like skinheady, and I don't think that's a good logo. And not in today's delicate climate is that a good logo.
Pancrase, yeah, you're right. UWF I could do without. Rings looks like a fucking PC logo from 1993. So, I mean, I guess it's called Rings. I guess it matches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess. Next email is from JR. I don't know if you want me to say your last name, so I won't. It's titled Pro Wrestling Scams. This story will put me in the Vert Bag nursing home, but my first live show was at an AWA house show in Boone Grove, Indiana, well after the official AWA folded in 1990, and Vern Gagne and others still ran shows under the AWA name. Damn. The main event was some Super Carney shit where the babyface's plane was late and would forfeit his title for no-showing. Sure enough, the babyface comes out running in with his luggage to really sell that he had just come from the nearest airport, which was Chicago's Midway, 2 hours away from the event. But he can't compete without putting up the match fee. So the babyface asks the crowd for money, and after being pelted by loose change, sure enough, comes up with enough cash, and the main event goes on as scheduled. Jay, a.k.a. the true Fushnik Gage, a.k.a. Baked Yagi, a.k.a. Mezcal Toriyagi. P.S. Had to find a workaround to listen to episode 73 at work because someone snitched and got UMG to pull the YouTube version on a copyright strike. Who's on your short list of suspects? That's an incredible story, JR. Thank you for sending that in. With regards to snitching, YouTube's pretty sharp, man, so it's it's a lesson learned on my end for including a John Mayer song as a bumper track. So apologies. If you guys didn't listen to the last episode, I asked the listeners to send in their wrestling scam stories, and that was a really good one. I assume there was a lot better wrestling scams back in those days. So I think we need a little more mature listeners to write in with their scam stories, because I'm sure there's a bunch of them. Next up is from Eric. It's, what's the most troubling fan behavior you've witnessed at a show? I'll get right to the point. What is the most troubling fan behavior you've ever witnessed at a wrestling show? Have you ever seen something that made you genuinely concerned for that person, the people around them, the in-ring talent, and perhaps even their friends and family at home? I was doing ring announcing for my local indie, Empire State Wrestling, and during intermission I chatted with a guy in a Bullet Club shirt who seemed a bit off. In the main event, Pepper Parks won the ESW Heavyweight Championship in a little under 8 minutes and cut a pretty scathing promo on his opponent and the rest of the locker room. During the promo, the weird Bullet Club guy started screaming, "I want you! I want your title, Pepper! I want you! I want you! I want you right now!" And it keeps going on for a while. The adult man said this with a tone and an intensity that strongly suggested that he thought wrestling was real, or he thought any bozo off the street could get a title shot by yelling loud enough at the champion. You can watch the incident yourself if you're curious. I didn't fucking watch it. I should have watched that shit. You can hear the guy if you listen closely enough during Pepper's promo and exit, and you can very clearly at 10:47. I'll try and remember to put this on the mixtape link so you guys could see it at home. Everyone backstage could hear this guy ranting and raving, and we're very concerned that he might come back there and eventually actually try and fight somebody. He did eventually go away on his own, and I haven't heard his crazy ass since then, so crisis averted, I guess. So what you say, head Vert Bags? Have you ever witnessed bizarre wrestling fan behavior that went way above and beyond the normal bizarre wrestling fan behavior? Eric, a.k.a. Slim Sheamus, a.k.a. Stone Cold Steve Harvey, a.k.a. your new NWA Brass Knuckles champion, Eric's backyard version. I wasn't there, but I think it was by the time you hear this, I guess 2 AIW shows ago, one thrift store jobber threw a chair in the ring like a real piece of shit. So I just want to mention that. But outside of that, I might have told this story on the show before, but when I was really young, I saw it was Macho Man, and it was either him versus Ultimate Warrior, him versus Sergeant Slaughter, and some dude scaled. It was a steel cage match, and some normal dude in the audience just scaled the cage like it was nothing, ruining the illusion of wrestling for me, by the way. And he had a poster tube in his hand, and he just like jumped in the ring and started hitting Randy Savage with a poster tube, and that was pretty wild to see.
in real life. I mean, he got taken out pretty quick, but in recent memory, there's like outside of drunk assholes, there's never been a time I've seen somebody that I thought might fly off the handle or anything.
Yeah, I haven't seen any like troubling behavior to where I felt like my life was threatened. My friend Carr, he was next to this dude at WrestleMania 33. That's the one where Seth Rollins cashes in his briefcase. And I guess the guy next to him, he had a replica belt on, and he stood up and he yelled, "You can't do that! You can't do that!" And I guess he really meant it from his heart. And so I guess that's like kind of related to your story about like some fans like really thinking this shit is real. But yeah, I've never like experienced a fan where like I felt threatened, fortunately. But I wish I was next to that guy who, was really upset at Seth Rollins. Next up is from, is this Rax, aka Max?
Yep.
Titled Dead Stock Sable Air Fresheners. What's up, guys? This is Max from Columbus again. Thanks for everything that you do. I was watching a Nick Gage shoot interview recently, and he said his least favorite stipulation is fans bring the weapons match. What is your favorite deathmatch stipulation? How about least favorite? Thanks, Max. Signed, Max. Favorite? Man, it might be my favorite and least favorite. I want more bugs back, dude. Like, I know, like, we're in a climate where that's gonna, like, look bad on the promotion, but it both intrigues me and skeeves me the fuck out. So, anything insect-related. How about you?
Yeah, in my mind, I'd say the same thing, insect-related, animal-related. But in reality, all his death matches kind of sucked. But I think, if you brought it back now, they wouldn't suck anymore. I think people would figure out how to do crazy shit with them. Like, I saw that dry ice match at GCW a couple months ago. And I remember back in the day, those being kind of lame. But this one was pretty sweet. So I think if you brought the bugs back, they could do something cool with it. As far as least favorite, I don't know if I've ever even watched one. But when they pull that shit where it's like Lego deathmatch, I know it hurts to step on a Lego or whatever, but there's nothing visual about that. I don't care if somebody's stepping on a fucking Lego. I'm a grown man. I want to see blades. I want to see needles. I want to see like real hurtful shit. Like people step on Legos every day. People don't get fucking their foreheads cut up every day. So, next up is from Olivia. Yeah, that's right, Olivia. It's titled Clickbait, and click is spelled like Shawn Michaels click. Hey guys, first time emailing in with a very simple question. Do you think Vince McMahon owns a pair of jeans? Olivia, aka Grand Theft Auto Wands, aka NBA Jimmy Jam, aka We Fit Finley, aka Toe Jam and Earl Hebner. That's a good one. I swear I saw this email and I Googled it because I swear there's like an interesting story about Vince McMahon wearing jeans, but I couldn't find it. So maybe that's just something I imagined. But the only thing I could think of, the only instance I could think of where I know he had to have worn jeans was the, back before the Attitude Era, there was like an era of Raw where when he was still announcing, when all the announcers wore like denim jackets. Yeah. Those black denim Raw jackets. And I would hope he was wearing jeans with that, because wearing a denim jacket and slacks is a real weird look. So I'm just going to assume he owned a pair of black jeans. Blue jeans, I'm not so sure. What do you think, Al?
Didn't he come out with black jeans when he entered the Royal Rumble with like that black sleeveless shirt?
I don't know. I think those might have been slacks, actually.
They might have been slacks. I don't know. I just couldn't help thinking about that episode of The Office when Michael got real pumped for Jeans Day. Yeah. And I kind of think like that's the same thing with Vince, where like I think he makes it a big deal when he wears denim, and I bet he gets them dry cleaned, etc. So yeah, I do think he owns a pair of jeans, but I don't think he wears jeans like you and I do, Olivia, for sure. Next up is from Warren, titled Shameful Fans. Man, what happened, man? People just want to talk shit about some fans, I guess.
No, they love it.
Yeah, that's cool. Fuck it. Hey, Vert Bros. I recently went to a SmackDown taping, and while I was prepared to deal with some embarrassing fans there, I don't think anything could have prepared me for the people I ran into. About 20 minutes into the show, this woman, who had to be about 35, rushed in and sat down in the seat in front of me. She was there with her young daughter, and they were both dressed like Hot Topic employees from the mid-2000s, with matching spaghetti strap tops, raccoon eyeliner, cat ear headbands, and pencil thin drawn on eyebrows. The mom was obviously drunk and did the Jeff Hardy dance every time he came out, which was like 3 times. There was also a mentally challenged guy that kept screaming "suck it" at the top of his lungs until his adult guardians had to escort him out. Have you ever sat near someone so cringy that you got that intense secondhand embarrassment? Let me know and keep up the good work. Warren, a.k.a. Shark Guccia, a.k.a. Akira Hokaflow, a.k.a. Super Delphina Catch These Hands. The last time this really happened to me, I posted it on the Instagram, and he might have been like a teenager. He might have been a young adult. I don't know. He was about a couple rows away, and every time anyone would come out, he would hold his replica belt up in the air, and he would just like pump his fist wildly. And then Nakamura came out, and he was definitely doing the Nakamura hands. And then I was just like, oof, not a good look, but nothing too like cringy from me in terms of like watching other fans behave.
First off, I want to mention that Warren obviously words this as if he thinks 35 is very old, and that makes me feel like I'm basically in a coffin. Right. Yeah. Warren must be a young boy, I guess. I don't know though. These parents, this mom and her daughter sound like they fucking party, so I think that's pretty cool. But outside of that, I think I mentioned, if you're an older listener, Warren, last January, I guess, yeah, because it was a Royal Rumble takeover. I went to NXT Takeover Royal Rumble weekend, and there were some fans behind me, and one of them was talking about, I can't remember the whole thing, but I remember him just saying, sorry, he said to his friends, "Sorry guys, I haven't been late in a long time." And like their whole cringy conversation was pretty bad, but nothing where, I don't know, it's always funny to me usually. It's never too horrible, I don't think, but I also don't go to WWE events too often, so I don't get to see the cringiest, I don't think. The next one's from Deo. It's a custom match ideas. I always have to get the ethnic emails, so I have to pronounce things.
Pumped. I'm so pumped you like landed on this one because I'm real excited about your pronunciations coming up.
What's happening, Verbags? It's been a minute since I wrote in, but I think I got a fire ass match idea, so I thought I should share it with y'all. I should honestly, I saw this email, I was like, I'll probably not get it. But I should have fucking put in like a voice thing on the internet, and so I could figure out how to pronounce this word. But anyways, he says, I got a fire ass match idea, so I thought I should share it with y'all. Me versus Alan, the first ever. Man, this is a Balikbayan Box match.
Oh, nice, dude. Good shit.
Did I get it?
Sort of.
Yeah, okay, good. The first person to stuff their opponent into the back box along with old toys and clothes, tape it up, then ship the loser to the Philippines wins. Sorry, this is hella ethnic, Mike. You're right. That's all I got. So always peace and love, Deo, a.k.a. Santo Nino Sabatelli, a.k.a. the Bastos Badass, a.k.a. El Pollo Adobo Loco, the high flyer from the Philippines.
I'll take over, Mike.
Okay.
So Balikbayan Boxes, from my non-Filipino listeners, it was like, just imagine a box maybe like 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet, and your parents could ship whatever the fuck they wanted to the Philippines for $50. And so like as a kid, you would notice like things disappearing over the years. Like, you know, where did my copy of Tecmo Bowl go? Or where are those Nikes that I used to have? Like, I want to wear those right now. Those were pretty hot. And so this box is kind of a nightmare for a Filipino youth because they would just send all of her cool shit over to our cousins back home without telling us. And so like it was funny, like in 1998, after not being there for like over a decade, I was like rummaging through my cousin's shit and I found my fucking copy of fucking Tecmo Bowl and I was so pissed. So yeah, Dale, this is a really good fucking match stipulation for sure. I'm getting like chills right now talking about this Balikbayan Box talk. Anyway, next up is from Zach, titled Optimal Show Length. Hey pros, first time, long time. I have a very first world wrestling problem to ask your opinion on. We are very lucky to have Beyond Wrestling here in New England. They bring in great guys and do some cool stuff, but their shows are regularly 4 hours long. That is way too long. It reminds me of when a cool band comes to town and they tack 6 extra bands on the lineup. In your opinion, what is the ideal number of matches on a card or just length of a show? Zach, aka Big Z Langston. Man, I think the NXT format is fucking perfect, dude. They have 5 matches, 5 or 6, give or take. The show goes about, like 2.5 hours these days?
Yeah, tops.
And I think, like, that's the optimal length for a wrestling card. I mean, I'm totally down with, like, the super cards going 4 or 5 hours, but for the most part, I do think, like, the NXT formula is the perfect format.
Yeah, the NXT is really good. Evolve used to, I don't know, I haven't been to one of their shows since, I guess they supposedly changed their format a little, but, they used to do like 6 or 7 matches and it'd always be about 2.5 hours long. But I am kind of a baby though, and I do like having intermissions, so I would bump it up to like, if I'm at a show, the longest I really want to be there is for 3 hours. Anything after that, I get kind of antsy. So, 8 matches usually tops. So if you could like work an intermission in there too, that's pretty sweet. But yeah, like, anything over 3 hours. As far as actual shows, like, concert shows, I don't think you should ever go over 5 bands, cause that's ridiculous. Next email is from Emma. Yep. Merch upgrade. What would be a cool new category of merch to see on some indie wrestler's table? I want to see someone put out trading cards or wrestler-themed snacks or some other weird shit. Anything like that happening? And what do you guys want to see out there? Good luck and thank you. Emma, aka aka Tape Trader Joe's, aka Bone Soldiers in Harmony, aka Raw Her Ramon, aka Thought Hall. AIW, I don't think I mentioned it, or not AAW, AAW, when I went a couple weeks ago, they did a trading card set for their tournament, their Jim Lightem tournament, and I think Bola does it too, and it's pretty sweet, honestly. I don't know if I'm in the minority, but I think that's way sweeter than trying to sell a t-shirt, honestly. Not for, obviously t-shirts have their space too, but it's like I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, selling a trading cards, that's pretty cool, and I didn't think doubly because I'm not an autograph person. But if you are an autograph person, it gives you an instant thing for somebody to sign that's at the show. It's just like if you have the money to do it and to do it well, that trading cards is a really good idea. I also think snacks is a great idea, but outside of Togi Makabe, I don't really know any wrestlers that have had their own snacks, and that is, it's funny because if you play Fire Pro Advance 2, one of the things in promoter mode that you sell is snacks. So yeah, that's a good idea. But outside of that, I always think it's cool when wrestlers have different merch. I do think like once one wrestler has a merch item that other people don't, then everybody has it. Because I remember Colt Cabana and I think Chris Harrow had those little tiny dolls that have that look to them. I don't know what they're called, but everybody has them now. And I remember that they had them first, but now everybody has them. And yeah, so I'm down for anything like unique that's not just a shirt, because a lot of the times I don't want to wear any of those shirts. So I don't buy them.
Unrelated but related. I wonder what like the wrestlers did when they try to jump on like the fidget spinner craze. Like, what do they do with that crate of 500 that they definitely didn't sell?
Yeah.
Very curious. Chihiro Hashimoto, she has some socks out that I could have copped, but I didn't, and I regret that very deeply. If you offer socks and you're a wrestler, I'll cop them. It's wintertime, or it's about to be, and I got to keep my feetsies warm, so sell some socks to me. I'll buy them.
That's actually a good question to add on to this. What do you think about the Japanese wrestlers and promotions that sell towels? Not the full-length towels, but like the neck towels, basically.
Well, they're supposed to be cheer towels, right?
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
They're such awkward dimensions that you can't really have them as like hand towels for your bathroom. Like, it's like just this sign printed on a towel that like you can't use anywhere in your life. So it's kind of an inconvenience. Like, anytime I find a cool towel, it always has to be like a beach-sized towel. Anything else is like kind of like a waste. Actually, I take that back. I have a Nakamura like cheer towel, but that was only because it was on sale, and I fully intend to sell it maybe the next year or two.
Yeah, I have that one that's signed by Meiko Satomura and Cassandra Miyagi, but I just, I put it back in the plastic and then put it in a box, and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I can't really do anything with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too, it's not even like scarf size, and you're not even supposed to use like a towel as a scarf. I don't know. It's quite a hustle.
Yeah, because it just seems like it would be easier just to print on cloth than a towel. So if anybody knows the origins of this, write in Virtual Pro 64, or you could Twitter us at VRTL Pros. But I'd like to know what the origins of the chair towel is.
Last up, my man DC, titled shows. DC here, aka Samosa Joe, aka Sean Hemp, aka Corliss Trilliumson. One, I went to SmackDown 1000 since I found some cheap tickets at the 11th hour. Was excited to see Ray versus Nakamura's first ever one-on-one matchup, but damn, the stop-start nature of live TV made me remember why I decided to stay away from WWE TV events. I couldn't get into the flow of the show, and by 9:15 I was ready to go. Going to so many non-WWE shows really made me appreciate the action, in all capital letters, at these shows, and not having to sit through so many stupid promos. 2, all of the big Japanese promotions are having a supercard in honor of Mr. Giant Baba. Give me your must-see matchups out of all the New Japan, All Japan, Noah talent pools. I would like to see Liger and Ultimo go at it one last time. Raw's coming to Sacramento in December, and I'm probably gonna go because I gotta take my godson. I'm not too pumped about it, seeing as I haven't tuned into Raw maybe like in a year. But I feel like any time I have gone to a live Raw, it's been pretty fun.
I think the formula to that is if you never watch Raw, then you have fun at live shows. Cause that's what I always hear too.
Yeah.
All my friends that don't watch Raw are like, yeah, I had a great time. And like me thinking about it, I'm just like, that would really suck.
I think it's like maybe a episode or two away from the Rumble. No, that's not true at all. I think Rumble's like mid-January.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited to go. Number 2, we'll talk about in Two-Man Scramble, which we'll get to right now. But if you want to participate, email us at virtualbros64@gmail.com. First up for Two-Man Scramble, a bit of Virtual Bros chat. I know that you did this recently, Mike, because I did too. How'd your fantasy basketball draft go?
It went okay. I've never done fantasy basketball before.
Yeah.
And I'm quickly learning today, we're recording on the day where most of the games are played, that I did a bad job. Not bad job completely, but I didn't really factor in any defensive stats.
Okay.
So like I'm getting fucking reamed on blocks and rebounds and stuff like that because I didn't even think about it. So that I have a lot of Sacramento Kings on my team though. So
hey, thank you, dude. I'm missing the game for you right now. They're getting beat by, I guess it's under 10, but they're gonna get beat by Utah. Last year I got fucking robbed by 1 assist. I was supposed to go to the finals, and then Yahoo, for whatever reason, auto-corrected one of the assist stats, and I got fucked. I would have won like $200. This year I waited until the 11th round to draft a starting small forward, which was a James Johnson, on the Heat. So I'm going to get fucked real bad this year. It's going to suck. But yeah, my technique has always been to draft power forwards and centers because they generally will give you good blocks, good rebounds. Their field goal percentage is usually spot on, but, not this year. I didn't follow any rules. Also try to get Draymond Green. He's always a monster. My next topic, DC alluded to it. It was recently announced that there would be a super show commemorating the 20 years since Giant Baba's death at Sumo Hall. The show would feature a collaboration between New Japan, All Japan, Noah, and I think Wrestle 1 was announced too, but I could be wrong. Are there any interpromotional face-offs that you'd like to see?
Well, I'm a big poser and I don't watch any of those other promotions except for New Japan.
Yeah.
But, I think Jun Akiyama still works for All Japan. So, and it might have even happened back in the day and I don't know about it, but I think him versus Okada would be pretty cool.
I'd watch the shit out of that, dude. There's only one on my mind, and that'd be a 5-on-1 handicap match. It'd be a Tomohiro Ishii, Minoru Suzuki. Let's throw in a Joe Doring in there. Keno and the big hoss Kitamura versus Kento Miyahara. It'd go 25 minutes in my dream, and it'd just be like those 5 guys doing their finisher over and over again, taking turns on Kento Miyahara because I hate that guy. That'd be sweet as hell. My last 2-man Scrabble topic of the night. So it was recently announced, I think it was early this week, that Jeff Jarrett's Global Force Entertainment, they joined forces with like a wrestling-focused travel agency to offer trips to next year's Wrestle Kingdom. I just like to take the time to read off what comes with those travel packages. If you're flying from San Francisco to Tokyo, you get a return flight. That's good. You get a transfer from the airport that you land to your hotel. One way only. You don't get to go back. You get a hotel based on 2 people sharing. That's nice. What this did omit, which I saw earlier in the week, is that your flight had, I think, 2 stopovers. I could be wrong. It was definitely 1 stopover, so you're not even getting a direct flight. And then you get 1 ticket for Wrestle Kingdom. If you had to guess, Mike, how much do you think all of this costs?
I'm going to say it's a little bit on the high side and say $5,000.
You are over by a little bit. It is $4,000.
Okay.
I'm not one to hate on anyone's hustle, but I will undercut a motherfucker. So I'm going to start Henny's Travels. If you want me to do this for you, I'll do it for $1,000 less. No problem. Just let me know. virtualpro64@gmail.com. I'll get you all this shit on the low. Let me know. That was all I had.
Okay. I feel like I'm missing something here, but I guess, I don't know, man. I hope I'm not missing anything. Doesn't matter. The show always runs long anyways. Unfortunately, one of the things I want to talk about, I didn't fucking watch myself because I'm a piece of shit, but Bjork Lesnar on the Twitter sent us a video. He DM'd us a video, and it was in honor of SmackDown 2000 or 1000. It was some rap guy. Let me see, what's his name?
What's up, Dan? I see you. What's up, baby?
Rapper Bodie. Are you familiar with Bodie?
I'm not, and I was only able to get through 31 seconds of this.
Yeah, me too. It was about a minute and I stopped. But it's a guy and he's rapping, like SmackDown references, but there's no music, so it's like that kind of freestyle rapping that I'll just call saying poetry out loud, and that's not, I mean, I know it rhymes and it's in a rhyming cadence. And I used to watch those battle rap videos that were on YouTube back like 10 years ago. So I understand it, but it's awkward. It's awkward to watch. It's awkward to watch when it's just one guy doing it and there's not anybody cheering. So I don't know. I didn't like it. But he also mentioned that I guess we were on our break when Enzo's rap career took off. Enzo Amore.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about that video, Al? Did you like the Enzo Amore video?
Was this the one where like it was like part in the desert, part like him like over this coffin?
Yeah, and he was talking about like he was going to be this big rapper, and he's nowhere now. He had that video, and he had one more that was really embarrassing, and then he disappeared forever.
Yeah, it was pretty cringy. As someone who buys Supreme on and off, that made me want to not wear Supreme ever again. So thanks, Enzo Amore. I think you saved me some dough over those, maybe that month. I didn't buy anything. But yeah, it was terrible, man. That guy's voice is like so grating. You don't want to hear that over rap music.
Yeah, that was a shitty topic, man. That's why I swear I had something better, but I don't know what the fuck happened. I think I wrote it down on a different note.
You okay, dude? You on those vitamins right now or what?
Yeah, I'm a little wavy, but
that's okay.
But no, I don't know. Anyways, I had 2 merchandising topics since the main segment's about wrestling artifacts, which is, more or less merchandise.
Cool.
I was wondering, I was watching on Twitter the other day a woman wrestler selling her clothes as they do, and I was thinking, if you're a person who buys this type of stuff, do you think you buy it? This was a female indie wrestler. This wasn't like Sasha Banks or anything. Do you think that there's at least some section of the people that buy this stuff that buy it in hopes that these women will make it to WWE so it'll appreciate in value? Do you think there's like used clothes investors?
Absolutely. So I was on Why Japan, and there's someone with an Io Shirai costume, all 8 pieces, and he's charging like Toyota Camry prices for that shit now. So that guy like got in early when she was in Stardom, and he was like, it's like one of those like baseball card collectors that hold on to rookie cards. It's kind of like that, but way creepier. Yeah. Like that for sure exists, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, the creepy aspect of it. Because I was thinking, yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, if you're that much of a creep,
yeah,
I would think you would be like, well, there's probably no good sniffs left. I can't. All the sniffs are gone. That guy who the original owner has probably sniffed every centimeter of this costume. And so I would think maybe that would depreciate value. But yeah, I guess it would make sense that, I don't know, that is a weird business, man. I can't imagine taking that risk. Like, I'm a used clothes buyer. I'm investing in these used clothes. I'm hoping one of these women hit it big. But I guess you could do the same thing with guy clothes too. It doesn't have to be women, but it's fucking weird either way.
Well, if anyone listening wants to get in on this Io Shirai sundress that I saw in Totocon, I think it was going for $400. I got two. If you got two, I promise not to sniff it if you don't. And I think we can definitely make our money back and then some for sure.
Yeah, she's not going anywhere but to the top now. So you could still get in on the ground floor there.
Let me know.
My last topic is, of course, some insider business.
Oh, shit.
We sold a bunch of hats last episode, and they sold out in 18 minutes.
Yeah.
And I put it out on Twitter, and I got a mild reaction. I would say a warm reaction, but I said, if anybody wants these, like, if anybody actually wanted one of these and they didn't get one, to let me know, because a lot of people were acting like we're assholes for them selling out, and just like explain things to you. I honestly didn't know, me or Al didn't know how well fucking hats were sold. I heard mixed responses both ways, and so I was like, I'm gonna get this many made. Hats are not t-shirts. We can't put on this fucking fake pre-order thing and be like, oh, we're unlimited sizes. Like, that's not, that doesn't work with hats. Like, you have to get them made. So I was like, this is a good amount to get made. So I had them made, and they sold out real quick. And then I noticed, cause I was fine with it. I was like, fine, they're fucking sold. But then I looked down the addresses, and most of them were from the West Coast. So I feel like no one in the Northeast got these hats. So if you would like a hat, I'm not saying we're guaranteed to make them again or anything, but I didn't mean it to be some kind of like limited edition thing. I was just like, this is how many that's probably going to sell. And I was super wrong. So yeah, if you actually wanted a hat, and maybe I'll make them, because it is a thing where like I have to make at least 50 of these things, and we're not making like a big profit off these to begin with. So I don't want to take a bath on another edition of hats, but if there's enough interest, I'll think about it, as long as Al's cool with it too. I don't know how Al feels about it.
Oh man, when they sold, I think it was actually, 18 minutes, right? I was stunned. I didn't look at the stats, so I'm glad West Coast is repping, even though like we have no reason to wear a beanie at all. It gets like maybe like 60 degrees out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people were kind of tight that, I mean, we can't really tell. I mean, I think we know stuff will do okay. But with regards to the beanie, we didn't think people would be freaking out that hard. Like, I got so many texts like, I forgot, I couldn't get in on time. And I'm like, well shit, man. Like, we're kind of popping out here. What do you want us to do? Up next, wrestling artifacts that we'd like to own. Mike and Al discuss which relics of Grap's history they would like to display to their house guests. Please stay tuned.
Hey, why you two-step?
Okay, we're back here on Virtual Pros episode 74, and our main topic for tonight is talking about wrestling artifacts we'd like to own. I think we might have done an episode in the past about, wrestling merchandise we'd like to own. This is actual artifacts. It doesn't have to be 100% related to wrestling. It could just be paraphernalia or whatever the fuck. I've been thinking about this a lot lately because of one of the videos that's in our mixtape. We'll talk about that later. It's a Zack Ryder video. That made me think about this, and I usually in my life go through phases where I'm just like, I want to get rid of all my shit. I don't want to look at this stuff anymore. And then I want to sell everything. And then then the other 6 months of the year, I just want to collect everything that I ever see. And I just flip flop back and forth. And I've kind of rationalized it these days where I'm just like, I'm going to die someday. We're all going to die. You can't keep shit when you die. The Streets, who was a popular grime artist decades ago now, had a song about 10 years ago called Everything is Borrowed. And that's very true. Everything you have in life, material item, is borrowed. It's going to disappear someday. So I rationalize it now where I'm just like, that's kind of like I'm renting something. It's okay if I collect a lot of shit because I'll eventually get rid of it somehow. Or I'll die and I'll just go to somebody else. So that's how I'm rationalizing it. So I've been thinking about, if there's things I really would want to keep in the wrestling world, what would they be if I had unlimited potential to get any of these things? And I came up with a few things, and Al came up with a few things. And I'm not going to lie, my things really maybe aren't that great. I don't know. But the first one I'm going to start out with is the one I would want the least, but I'd still want it. And I'd wanted to stay away from any kind of clothing, any kind of used clothing. But unfortunately, I couldn't get this out of my mind. And so I want it. And it's something I've been fixated with since the first time I saw it, whenever that was, 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. I don't know. But there was a point, and I don't know the era. I don't know if it was from the 80s or if it was just the 90s. But there was a point in New Japan Pro Wrestling where the ring announcer wore this Sergeant Pepper's general outfit. And I've been fixated with that for however, since the first time I saw it. The first time I was just like, man, Japanese wrestling is just really regal. This guy is in this formal, very flamboyant general's outfit. And I don't know that guy's name. I don't know if it was multiple guys. I don't know anything about it. I tried to do light research before we started recording, and I couldn't find anything about this. But there was a certain era in New Japan Pro Wrestling that lines up with the Super J Cup, the first Super J Cup. So he wore it there. And I don't know if it's different ones, but I would specifically want that one. But I would take any one. And it's just one of those things. I read that Chris Charlton book about the history of New Japan. I don't think it's ever explained in there. I've never read any explanation of this ring announcer uniform, but I fucking love it. And I wish more promotions did stuff like that. So I would just really like to have that uniform.
Would you put it on if you had it?
I don't think I have the right body for that uniform. I don't think I would look too good in it.
I think you should try at least. So my picks, there's a definite theme aside from one. We're in October, so maybe that's a spoiler for you. So my first one, we're creeping up on 22 years since this landmark episode of Raw aired. The WWF, they actually had to apologize for doing this angle after pulling it off, but fuck that. This episode of Raw is incredible. A top fiver for me. And I personally think it'd be sick if I could have this artifact in my possession, namely under my pillow. And that is Brian Pillman's gun, aka the Pillman 9mm, from when he was defending his house against Stone Cold Steve Austin. I bet it's functional. I bet it still works. And if I ever decided to resell it, I bet some monster would pay me some serious dough for it. So it seems like a really smart investment if I could have it. For sure. Brian Pillman's gun. Lock it in.
My next one is kind of similar, but it happened 10 years before Brian Pillman's gun. So it was the simpler times version of Brian Pillman's gun. And that is, I would like to own the ring bell from when Macho Man Randy Savage crushed Ricky Steamboat's larynx. Because at the time, that was the most brutal thing I had ever seen in wrestling. It was beyond my comprehension that you could take a ring bell from wherever the fuck it sits and crush somebody's throat with it. And I think, honestly, I think it'd be pretty fucking cool to own any of those ring bells from that period, but that specific one, would be pretty fucking cool. You can hang that up. People will just think it's stupid art in your house, and you would know deep down that ring bell crushed Ricky Steamboat's larynx.
Dude, I'm imagining you and I with these weapons at like a 1 hour studio photo like session, and it is incredible. Maybe we should just like recreate this. I'll bring like a fake gun, you bring a ring bell, and that'll be like our new shirt or some shit. Like the Outsiders t-shirt with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash posing with each other, but it'll be us with these weapons. My second one, not so ghoulish. So, as some of you may know, bit of a sneaker freaker, bit of a sneakerhead, hashtag. And Shane McMahon, he's provided me some pretty choice moments when it comes to sneakers. When he re-debuted a couple years ago, he came out in some Chicago ones, broke my fucking neck. But if I had a choice, I think he wore some True Blue 3s back in the day, and that was a moment for me as well. But if I had to pick one pair of Shane McMahon's shoes that I could own, it'd be those Fragment ones that he wore during that legendary build-up with The Undertaker going into WrestleMania 32, which I attended live, and I fell asleep for about 3 hours. But it was still a pretty crazy build-up. These Fragment ones, they don't look like... They're not crazy looking, but the price is pretty crazy. I think brand new, those pairs go for about $2,500. And so... I bet he only wore them like once or twice, so it'd be cool to have a pair of Shane O'Mac J's, and if I was like in a bind, I could resell them.
Okay, so my last one is it is another thing that has caused pain, but it's not a weapon, unfortunately. But it is one of my favorite moments in the history of WWF wrestling. It's something I think about constantly to this day, and it really broke my heart when I was a little kid. And that was when they were introducing the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase to the world. And he would do, after his main vignettes, when they were showing how fucking rich he was, when he's actually in the arenas, he would do these vignettes or these little segments where he would promise an audience member a sum of money, and he would do something sneaky to beat them out of the money. And I think this was the first one, but I could be wrong. But there was one where there was a little tiny kid, a little tiny child. I made it the cover art of this episode already. He's probably like 6 years old. And Ted DiBiase says, "Hey, kid, I'll give you $500 or however much it was if you can dribble this basketball 20 times. And this kid, he's fucking nervous. He's in front of thousands of fucking people. And he's visibly nervous, and he's just having a hard time dribbling this ball on his own because he's a 6-year-old kid and he's nervous in front of all these adults, like looking at him and shit. And so he makes it up. He dribbles. He gets to 19. And I think it was Vrtl. Maybe it was DiBiase, but one of them just kicks the ball from under him. And the kid is so fucking sad, and DiBiase laughs, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here," or whatever. But I would really love to own that basketball. I don't think it's probably inflated anymore. It probably exists on this earth, but man, I would fucking display that proudly. And if anybody came over and was like, "What is that?" I'd be like, "Do you know what the fuck this is?" And I would give them the whole fucking story. I would have this I would just save this video to my phone. I would just fucking set up a little iPad tablet in the back of the fucking display case, just looping that 30-second moment over and over again. But yeah, that is one of the most soul-crushing moments of wrestling in the history of wrestling, I think. So I would just love to fucking own that basketball.
My last one. It's kind of two things. We're in October. It's ghoul season, so fuck it. I personally don't fucking get it. This obsession with Chris Benoit these days. I see it on the resells. Thrift store jobber right now is probably sitting up right now in his chair. I just don't get it. I don't really understand the obsession with a man that may or may not have murdered his family. It's just not for me. But if I had to pick two things, Chris Benoit related, the first artifact that I would own is that Super J Cup 94 winner gold jacket that he got to rock after his victory against the great Sasuke. I know there was like a white bomber jacket that exists, but I've only seen wrestlers wear it. But I would pay a dumb price for that. I currently have the 2-set VHS set for J Cup 94. I have a ticket stub for whatever reason. I have the program. I have the event poster, and I have a tee from that event just lounging around. So if I had this gold winter jacket, I think I could really round out my collection when it comes to Super J Cup 94. Secondly, I assume that this photo is still posted up at Ribera's Steakhouse, but there's a photo of him and Eddie Guerrero just palling around. And Chris Benoit in this photo, he has the sweetest San Francisco 49ers t-shirt on. And I kind of think it'd be a cool photo to have on my shelf. If you look at it, it's like a real duality of man feel with this photo, one might say. And so if I had to pick 2 Chris Benoit items, these would be it.
Yeah, that's a very good photo. I would go with that too.
Listeners, what would you want to own? Email us virtualpros64@gmail.com. And next up, Hayata, on the mixtape I mean, Hayata, Jiro Kuroshio, Nick Gage, and Zack Ryder buying toys for some reason. Please stay tuned.
下がりにいつもと違う店で流れる人の波を頬ずらついたままでそびえるビルの谷間吹き下ろす風を受けて
Okay, we're back here on Virtual Pros, and this is our final segment. It is our mixtape segment. We have a YouTube playlist. Just search Virtual Pros Mixtape, or subscribe to us on YouTube at VRTL Pros. We keep this playlist, and we go over 4 matches every episode. And the first match I chose this week was Masashi Takeda versus Asami Kodaka from Basara, Pro Wrestling Basara. And this happened a few weeks ago on September 21st. And this is a cage match. And I chose this match because I want to start creating this narrative that New Japan is dissolving, and that I only watch premium independent Japanese wrestling, and how much better it is than New Japan, because it's owned by a white man that is destroying the company from the inside. And so I would just want to start watching the weirdest independent Japanese wrestling. But unfortunately, this shit's not too easy to find. You can't, I couldn't just type in heat up and get all the heat up matches that have ever happened. And it seems that Russian YouTube is much better at this, but I don't watch that. I watch American YouTube, youtube.com, not our YouTube. I don't watch that shit. And, Bahu was nice enough to say, hey, they put that match up. And, this is, I don't know if it's a match of the year contender for me. A few months ago in June, these guys had a fucking crazy ladder light bulb match that is, probably the most insane death match I've seen in my life. And so I am happy to see anything these guys are up to. But this is a cage match, so I'm just like, man, they can probably do so much fucking crazy shit in a cage match, forgetting that cage matches are usually not that great anymore. This match is good. It's not, it's not as good as their last match, that's for sure. It made me notice that Pro Wrestling Basara is, their logo is very similar to the Unsolved Mysteries logo. So if any of you t-shirt makers out there want to do a good mashup t-shirt, that is a free idea, because we will never do that. I don't think there's a market for that, but maybe there is, and it looks almost the same. So I don't know if they copied it, but it's very similar. And to be honest, I don't have much notes for this. This was a decent match. I think these guys are, I don't even know what to say. They are just they're the Tanahashi and Okada of deathmatch wrestling, basically. Or now, I guess, the Okada and Omega they're just like, there's the 2 men that are just meant to wrestle each other over and over again in a deathmatch format. And outside of that, my one big note is there was a part in this match. This match, it is from me seeing them live last month or a couple months ago, and their first match. I am used to these guys doing real brutal, terrible shit to their bodies. And this match is pretty, it's not completely safe of that, but it's pretty minor. compared to the other matches I've seen. And but there is one part of this match that made me convulsed, I would say, almost. and then is I hate to spoil it for you guys, but it's worth watching just for this. But Kodaka jumps off the cage, on the top of the cage, and does a double knee drop right into Takeda's stomach. And if you guys know, I do not know how the double foot stomp works. And I totally don't know how the double knee drop from the top of the cage works, but it made my arms started shaking. I was feeling some sort of a way for a little while after seeing that. So as much gross and disgusting shit these guys have done to their bodies, that probably hurt me the most in my soul, seeing Takeda take that fucking double knee drop from the cage. What did you think, Al?
All right, so do you think that this is like the same cage that was used in the FMW War Games match like 20 years ago? Like the sides are all saggy. Like this cage has seen some fucking better days. Do you agree?
I think I've always heard that it's fucking super hard for independent wrestling to have cage matches. So you're probably right. This is probably a cage that's been passed around between Japanese independent wrestling for 20 years.
This cage is so beat. But yeah, you alluded to it. This is my second bullet point. So Kodaka, he does his patented double knees onto Takeda off the top of the cage. Are you still in the camp that a double stomp is more devastating than this?
Well, no, because but if it was a double stomp from the top, that would be more devastating, I think. But I don't know, man.
I would take the stomp 10 times out of 10 over some fucking knees, dude.
I don't know.
Listeners, what do you think? VirtualPro64@gmail.com. I think Mike is ridiculous. Like, if you're doing a stomp, like your knees bend, if it's just straight knees, there's nothing moving.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Anyway, so Mike was talking about, he didn't say it was exactly safe, but in this match, Takeda breaks Kodaka's jaw. I'm not sure when. My guess was when Takeda punches him square in the face. But yeah, his jaw's broken, and I think Kodaka's out for like 4 months. So that's kind of a bummer. Yeah.
I guess it wasn't that safe then.
No, it wasn't safe at all. Yeah, but Mike also alluded to this. This match was like serviceable.
Yeah.
But we're almost at the end of the year, and I hate to spoil it since we do like, year-end awards, but their June encounter in Big Japan, that might be my match of the fucking year.
Yeah.
It's either that, or it might be, I don't think it's going to be Gargano Almas from the takeover you went to. Yeah. That match was incredible too. If you haven't seen that already, like, you need to. But this match was okay.
Yeah.
My first match of the night was Hayata and Yohei versus Jiro Kuroshio and Shuji Kondo, Noah 9-1 2018. This clip leads off with the man known as the Ikemen, Al's pick for 2018's wrestler to look for, Jiro Kuroshio, making what to me is my favorite entrance in pro wrestling. Like, I'll wait for your turn to talk to hear your thoughts on this entrance, but to me, like, this entire presentation is a must watch. Like, the watermelon blazer, like, this dude has me fucking rolling every time I see him. Shuji Kondo, Hayata, Yohei, not so electric. Speaking of Jiro, I think he has one of the coolest movesets in wrestling, and it's definitely on full display here. I think he throws some great punches. Shout out to DVR. What's up? He has an incredible springboard moonsault, and like he does that taunt where like he'll stand on his head on top of the top rope, and he's a dick biter. Like, these are all moves that make up like a really good pro wrestler. This match is like pretty quick. It's fast paced. Nothing much more to add here really, but I do think it's worth tuning in to see Jiro do what he do. And Shuji Kondo, he's out here killing folks with that lariat. And there's a toss-up powerbomb, which is pretty wild as well. This is a mild recommendation from me. What'd you think?
Yeah, that entrance is a little too much for me, honestly. I don't like the long entrances. I know Nate Webb is in vogue right now, and he has that long fucking entrance. And I'm not a fan of super long entrance. It's fine every once in a while, but this guy I respect how much he was milking this, where it was, because he, the whole deal, if you guys don't know, is like he keeps teasing that he's going to go in the ring.
Yeah.
And then he does something else. And there's a part where it looks like he's finally going to springboard into the ring. and he springboards and just slides right back out of the ring, and it's pretty amazing. But it's also 4 minutes long, and it's just like, I don't know, man. This is I think it says in the beginning, this is the 4th match on the card. That's just like, if he was the main event, I'd be fine with it. The 4th match, I might be getting a little antsy. But that is definitely the highlight of this match either way. Other highlights were Hayata, I believe. The only guy I'm fucking familiar with out of these is Shuji Kondo, and he does a cool pop-up fucking whatever the fuck to the guy, but I'll say that he's kind of a non-factor. But Hayata is wearing the weirdest pants. He's wearing the pleather pants, the 2000 style pleather pants, but one of the legs is cut like halfway up the shin, so it's kind of like, I believe Super Callow also wore pants like that, where he had like the old to fucking 90s 2000s roll, like one leg rolled up style. Yeah. But he has pleather baggy pants made out of them, so I thought that was pretty cool. And lastly, one of them, I forgot, I might have actually been the Ikemen. He does a Swanton Bomb, and you hear the Japanese announcer call it a Swanton Bomb, and it made, I don't know, I know the origins of the Swanton Bomb is that I guess Jeff Hardy did it, but I also assumed it was already a movie that exists, but he didn't. But is the Senton Bomb, is that really a Japanese term, or is that something an American guy made up? Do you know, Al?
I don't know the origins of the name. I kind of felt that like Jeff Hardy took this like form from the Great Sasuke. That's always been my theory.
Yeah, and I just think, and when I was younger, I believe the Senton Bomb was some Japanese name, but now I feel like just maybe Joey Styles or somebody invented that word, and that is not a real word. So it's funny to think that if that really is an invented word, that then the Japanese still in turn use Swanton to mean the other one. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy etymology there. Big etymology talker. Is that the word, or is that the study of insects? I can't remember, but wordology, I'll say.
No, you had it, man. Etymology's right.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, my last match of the night this was recommended by listener Matt. It was Nick Gage and John Zandig versus Jun Kasai and Mitsuhiro Matsunaga from Big Japan versus CZW, the year 2000. This is a barbed wire fire rope match. This takes place outside in probably one of the I don't even know what to say. It's not really a venue. Just maybe one of the wildest atmospheres I've ever seen for a fucking wrestling match in my life. They are outside. I went to AIW's Wrestle Rager a few months ago in August outside, but it was in like, it was in a fenced off area, so it's not like passersby can just pop their heads in and watch wrestling. This seems like it's in the middle of like an industrial area where there's, actual buildings and people working and possibly trains going by too. Yeah. Just completely open. And it's a ring surrounded by, probably couple thousand people, and just ropes ablaze, plumes of smoke just flowing into the air. I can't imagine just fucking going to work one day, I don't even know, doing data entry and just like looking out the fucking window and seeing this go on, man. This is fucking wild. And it's just for that alone. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a 2000s era death match featuring CZW wrestlers. This is not the greatest match, skills wise. So, but just for the atmosphere, this is 5 stars from the start. Chubby, young Nick Gage, not very intimidating. It's he is on the rare occasion one of the men that is much more intimidating as he gets older. So yeah, chubby young Nick Gage just looks like any transferable deathmatch wrestler. Nobody special. I wonder, because this is pretty early on. This is 2000. This is basically right here was kind of like this. I guess you would say like the second wave of deathmatch wrestling. I think right now we're probably in like the third wave, but this was getting out of the era of the FMW, IWA style death matches, where death matches were starting to get a bit more dangerous. And I wonder if this is the first match that introduced car play into death matches that wasn't a backyard wrestling match. Like, this might be a historical match where they're like, we're going to use fucking cars in this match. In the beginning, they're kind of sort of hitting each other, pretending they're getting hit. But then there's full on, they bring in a truck, and, you know, we'll get into that. But there's antics, and it's, this might be the first match. Jun Kasai is pretty young in his wrestling career here. He's still wearing his this young lion black panties. And it makes me think, anytime I see a deathmatch wrestler in this situation, I always just think that, you know, he probably had at one point regular aspirations to maybe just be a normal wrestler. And he got pulled into this shit. And it makes me think how it's probably forgotten in time if you're not an old man like me. But like somebody like Tajiri started out in Big Japan around this time. And he was just a man in panties at one point. And he was probably like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm not doing this fucking shit. Fuck these guys. I'm going to go somewhere else. And, you know, that's what I think. And I think Jun Kasai was just like, I'm into this shit, man. This is fucking sweet. I'm hurting my body every day. It's just real weird. It's always weird to catch these deathmatch guys at that point in their lives. There's a part. So yeah, they add a truck. They drive in a box truck outside of the ring, and the first time they use it is Jun Kasai does kind of like a plancha off of it into the ring on the other guys. It doesn't look very good. No one catches him, and he gets up and he pantomimes shitting on Zandig's head, and I just really like that moment. It was worth it. It was that's a cool taunt to pretend you're shitting on somebody's head. And then, of course, I knew when Matt showed us this match, I was like, there is a reason I remember this match. I can't think of what it is, but I know something really awful happens in this match. And then that happens. Basically, the awful thing is Zandig tries to gorilla press slam Jun Kasai off of this truck onto one table, onto the concrete fucking asphalt of this parking lot. And I don't know how they thought gravity worked, where they were like, oh, you know what? That one thin table will probably break his fall enough where it won't fucking hurt. So he gorilla press slams Jun Kasai off this truck. I don't even know if he fucking hits the table. And it's pretty gross. It's probably one of the grossest things that has ever happened in a wrestling match. And even the crowd, the rabid crowd, just goes silent. They're just like, that probably wasn't good. Jun Kasai continues to imagine this is what was wrong with fucking deathmatch wrestling back then. So Nick Gage drags this crippled man all the way back to the fucking ring. It takes like 28 minutes. And then he does like a fucking frog splash or something off of a ladder to pin him. And it's just like, you couldn't just pin him after he got gorilla press slammed off the fucking truck. The most brutal thing to ever happen in wrestling at this point. And it's just dumb. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my notes. This is a must watch. Outside of me saying it's dumb, it is, if you've never seen this match, I would say this is a must watch just for how fucking ridiculous it is. But it is also why I was like, I'm pretty cool off death matches for the next 10 to 15 years. So this match is just the whole dichotomy of feelings for me.
Yeah. Anytime there's a car involved on the Vrtl Pros mixtape, shit gets kind of brazy, right? So, yeah, there's a part where Matsunaga, he back body drops Zandig like straight onto wood, which is kind of a moment for me. Also, like during the match, someone is chanting CZW and they sound American. Is that Nick Gage? That's really weird to do during a match, right? Just me? Anyway, Mike talked about it. Like Jun Kasai and his car play. Like he dives off like this truck, which was crazy. And then later on, he takes a press slam. And, like, he goes through this table like a fucking hot knife through butter. But then he's, like, up and running again. And I'm like, dude, like, pretend you're dead. That's what I would have done. If I were to fall off of a truck and, like, just go through this table like it was nothing. Like, yeah, really sell that shit. Anyway, there's a lot of funny parts in this video to me. Namely, Zandig. He falls through the floorboards of the ring at one point. But the best thing to me, spoiler alert, Jun Kasai, he gets eliminated. And after he gets eliminated, he's actually obeying the rules of being fucking eliminated during this fucking ghoul fest where there's fire, there's barbed wire, and he's like actually like staying on the outside and not helping his friend Matsunaga. Like, dude, are you gonna get in trouble if you fucking help out? Like, there's all kinds of violence going on and you're actually outside fucking obeying the law. What a fucking sissy. This match is like 22 minutes long. There's like 3 minutes of it. Like, that's actually cool. I guess it's cool enough for you to tune in and see. But there's a lot of like There was a lot of me on my phone, like, okay, they're just walking around.
Yeah.
But for those 3 minutes, it was pretty sweet.
I mean, it's honestly, it's worth it to just see the shots of the where this is going on, because it's fucking wild.
Yeah, it looks like a Capcom Street Fighter stage because there's like a train passing by.
Yeah.
There's like people hanging out like on this wall with no shirt on. Yeah, it's real scenic, actually. The last clip of the night is this new YouTube show by the WWE called Figure It Out. This is a WWE production focused on Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. And the draw of the show is that they're scouring stores for action figures. The title of this video is actually, quote, Zack Ryder drops $1,300 on rare and vintage toys, which is like such a perfect clickbaity title for these sorts of videos. They even have like the voiceover audio like mixed really badly for like that maximum YouTube show effect, which is like a nice touch. So this video starts off kind of hot because they find these Jax Bone Crunchers figures in this store in Ohio. And I actually had these figures. I had that gold dust, so that was kind of nice. I was geeking out. But yeah, the highlight of this vid to me is that this specialty toy store, they had some sort of like wood mold that was used for like the Macho King Hasbro figure. I guess it was like used to make that bubble that held like a figure onto the card. And this store had the fucking audacity to charge $750 for this wooden blob. And Zack Ryder, being the fucking baller that he is, he doesn't even blink. And then like they cut to like some guy, I guess. He has like this Sergeant Slaughter LJN prototype. And Zack Ryder pulls off another baller-ass move. And he's like, yo, give me that fucking number. What number do you want, broke boy? Like that all ballers use. And the guy was like, 15 racks? Nah. Like, to me, if someone offered me $15,000 for a toy, like, you could have it. I'll take the flight to sell it to you. That shit is insane. Anyway, to sum this all up, like with this AJ Styles video game hunter show being in production, and now this coming out, like, I'm really excited to see, like, what sort of YouTube style shows the WWE, like, has next for us. Like, I really hope we get, like, a pretty decent Tony Nese Amazon unboxing style show where he buys up, like, all of their return goods or something in like, hopes to flip it. Like, that's my dream. Or maybe, like, a cooking show done by Lacey Evans, like, only using items purchased from the Dollar Tree. This is a must watch for me. I love these types of shows. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I watched this on my own last week or something, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to put this on a mixtape, but it'll definitely be a 2-man scramble.
Yeah.
And, my first note is I was very critical a few episodes ago of AJ Styles' video game hunter show, of being kind of a pose dog show, because he's just like, I don't care, I'll spend $600 on a Jaguar. And it's just like, you're just getting ripped off, man. And it's, I was just like, I was critical of it. I still enjoy it. I still watch it. But this is the real deal. Zack Ryder is the real fucking deal. AJ Styles kind of reminds me of like if I had to do one of these shows, if they were like, hey man, you have to have another job besides being a wrestler. What kind of YouTube show do you want to host? And I would say, I don't know, fucking video games. And that would be like me. I think, we're kind of on the same level. Or, maybe AJ Styles isn't as, fanatical, I guess would be the word of Zack Ryder, because this guy is a fucking ultra nerd, man. He is like, he is the real deal, man. I'm very, very, very impressed by Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. I remember hearing them, I think it was on Colt Cabana's podcast fucking years ago. And that's when I found out they were like toy nerds. And I was just like, these guys know so fucking much about toys. This is insane. And that was like years ago, and I just kind of assumed over time that maybe in my head I was exaggerating it a little, and they were probably just kind of like AJ Styles, where they had an interest in toys. But no, Zack Ryder is fucking insane. I don't know how much that wooden block could be worth. It's one of a kind, I guess, but it also just makes blister packs, like it just makes the plastic. So yeah, $750. Seems like a ridiculous price. That is that's a good chunk of change for basically a wooden block that is used to make a plastic mold. That is just like, I don't know, that would be like, there's nothing to compare that to. That is such a ridiculous item. And yeah, Zack Ryder, for a second, he's like, holy shit, this is $750. And then he's just like, I guess I gotta have it. Yeah. And it's just like, no, dude, you don't gotta have it. Yeah. You could at least haggle with the man and be like, dude, I'll give you $500 for this. But he's just like, I gotta have it. And, he buys like all these other toys too. He is fucking deep into it, man. Zack Ryder, good for you, man. I don't know where you make time for this, but it's pretty impressive how into toys you are. The store itself is amazing. This is a store that's in Cincinnati, I believe. And it's, right outside of where Hasbro is. I think it's Hasbro. I think there's like a cluster of toy companies. I know Kenner used to be in like Providence or in that area, so there'd be toy stuff there too, but this store, if, as far as like vintage or used toys, not used, but old toys go, I think if you went here, you would be too spoiled to ever go to another toy store. They seem to just have crazy stock. So, if I don't know if they even say the name of it, but if you're a toy man or a toy woman out there, just watch this video just to get the name of this fucking store, because it seems amazing. There's a point where they're looking at those Bone Cruncher figures, and not Zack Ryder, and Kurt Hawkins says how, in his garage, he has like all his wrestling friends, he has their dolls hanging up, and he has them sign them. Al, if you were in an industry that made action figures, would you do this? Would you do this practice? Do you think this is cool, or do you think this is weird?
This kind of seems like a common practice. Like, I know in basketball, like a lot of those dudes like fiend to have like autographed jerseys of their peers.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't think it's that weird. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's kind of cool to just be able to do that. Yeah. I do think it's kind of weird to ask people you're friends with to autograph stuff. But I guess if you're a person who's also used to autographing things, you're probably just like whatever. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So that's cool that he was buying a Gold Dust figure to get Gold Dust to autograph it, and that's pretty cool. At the end of the video, they're showing Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins' respective hauls, which I'll get to in a minute. But they flashed to some Beetlejuice mint on card figures, and they're only $12. That seems real cheap. If anybody out there has any Beetlejuice mint on card figures, namely that Otho figure, and you're only charging $12 for it, let me know, because it seems super cheap for Beetlejuice stuff. And yeah, they show their respective hauls, and as the title implies, Zack Ryder spent $1,300 on toys, and Kurt Hawkins has spent $38. And I don't know if that's just because their respective salaries are different, or Kurt Hawkins just has more restraint, but I hope maybe Kurt Hawkins steps it up in future episodes, because it's a weird contrast to have this crazy man, that's just like, I gotta have the wooden block, man. I gotta have it. And opposed to this very frugal man that's like, I spent $40 on toys today. That's enough. So, I'm interested to see how this works in future episodes.
I'm kind of scared. Like, what if this show is like a big hit and they go like 60 episodes, and like episode 61 is like Zack Ryder crying, looking at his credit card bill because he had spent like $60,000 to keep the show up. That'd be a real thing.
I know they have a podcast where they talk about this shit too, but that's not interesting to me, because I need a visual on toys, because I don't know what the fuck they're talking about half the time. So, I just hope it's a YouTube show. This would be one of my new favorite YouTube shows of any genre, not just wrestler shit. So I hope it happens.
Zack Ryder, keep spending that fucking Fetty, man. I'm rooting for you, dude. That shit is sick. That was episode 74 of that World Champion Sound Virtual Pros podcast. Twitter, Instagram, VRTL Pros. Tell a friend. Hit us on SoundCloud. Hit that heart. You know I like it. Hit us on iTunes. Leave a 5-star review and subscribe. And if you want to peep us on Spotify, we're on there too. Mike, any last words?
Hey, thanks for listening as always.
See you in 2 weeks. Bye.